Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave. I'm a proud American from my birth to the grave. 47's the top, took a bullet for all. Didn't flinch, didn't run, still they answer the call. And we say, be tight, be tight, be tight. Officer Tatum show. Be tight, be tight, be tight. Officer Tatum show.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Officer Tatum Show. Pete Hegseth's confirmation hearing was out of control. I just want you to know, if you hadn't seen it, it's out of control. Let me preface it real quick, and then I'm going to have Pete Hegseth give his own opening statement, and then we're going to go through the ridiculousness of Democrats. Let's start off with some of the things that have been concerning, at least the naysayers that are concerning. For me, Pete Hegseth, I didn't like the fact that he cheated on his wives. Maybe he cheated more than twice. I didn't like that he can't keep his weenie in his pants in the past. I don't like that part of Pete Hegseth, right? I think that a man needs to have enough integrity not to go ahead and do that. And then he ended up messing with some chick to say he raped her. Now, I looked at the clip. I mean, not the clip. Ain't no clip of it. I looked at the report. All that I've discovered, that girl lying like a mud. She probably should go to hell for lying like that. Cheating on her husband at the hotel room. Anyway, I'm not going to go into that. So obviously that was something that was on his record. But here's a couple things that people have been saying that are naysayers. I think the guy should be confirmed because Donald Trump believes he should be confirmed. And you don't have to be perfect to be in the office. It's better to be an imperfect person who has the right motives than a crook like the Democrats have been putting in office. Allegations that they have posed to him, sexual misconduct, which the assault against that woman, which was completely false. She should go to jail for that. Financial mismanagement, inappropriate workplace behavior, and he denied the allegations, labeling them as coordinated smear campaigns. That's what Pete Hegseth said, according to the Wall Street Journal. And then also the Democrats are saying that they think that Pete Hegseth lacks qualification, citing a lack of high-level political or business experience. Hegseth acknowledges his unconventional background, but was enthusiastic about his combat experience and his competence. And I think that that's where we go with it. I think Pete Hegseth is a good candidate because he's competent. Listen, I don't give a flying flip about all these credentialized accomplishments people claim that they have. On a piece of paper, I'm this. On a piece of paper, I'm that. I think a person who's running or should have leadership over the military should be a person who served in a combat zone. You have to be a combat veteran. You can't just serve in look, I respect anybody that's willing to put their neck out there for us. But just serving in the military and your MOS is like carpentry or something, that's not enough to claim that you are co-equal or just as good as a person who has the experience putting their life on the line physically, being in the combat zone, in the trenches, eating MREs and all the other stuff that they have to do. That's on a different level. You understand what the grunts do. That's why you can better serve them. Now, it's good to have a plethora of experience, but you can't say a man ain't got no experience when he was fighting for this country. I don't care what other credentials you have. If you fought, it's a good chance that you understand how this stuff works. But let's play Pete Hegseth's opening statement. Roll it.
The Department of Defense under Donald Trump will achieve peace through strength. And in pursuing these America First national security goals, will remain patriotically apolitical and stridently constitutional. Unlike the current administration, politics should play no part in military matters. We are not Republicans. We are not Democrats. We are American warriors. Our standards will be high and they will be equal, not equitable. That's a very different word. We need to make sure every warrior is fully qualified on their assigned weapon system, every pilot's fully qualified and current on the aircraft they are flying, and every general or flag officer is selected for leadership or promotion purely based on performance, readiness, and merit. Leaders at all levels will be held accountable, and warfighting and lethality and the readiness of the troops and their families will be our only focus. This has been my focus ever since I first put on the uniform as a young Army ROTC cadet at Princeton University in 2001. I joined the military because I love my country and felt an obligation to defend it. I served with incredible Americans in Guantanamo Bay, in Iraq, in Afghanistan, and on the streets of Washington, D.C., many of which are with me here today. This includes enlisted soldiers I helped become American citizens, and Muslim allies I helped immigrate from Iraq and Afghanistan. Because when I took off the uniform, my mission never stopped. Now, it is true and has been acknowledged that I don't have a similar biography to defense secretaries of the last 30 years. But as President Trump also told me, we've repeatedly placed people atop the Pentagon with supposedly the right credentials, whether they are retired generals, academics, or defense contractor executives. And where has it gotten us? He believes, and I humbly agree, that it's time to give someone with dust on his boots the helm. A change agent, someone with no vested interest in certain companies or specific programs or approved narratives. My only special interest is the warfighter. Deterring wars, and if called upon, winning wars by ensuring our warriors never enter a fair fight. We let them win, and we bring them home. Like many of my generation, I've been there. I've led troops in combat. I've been on patrol for days. I've pulled the trigger down range, heard bullets whiz by, flex-cuffed insurgents, called in close air support, led medevacs, dodged IEDs, pulled out dead bodies, and knelt before a battlefield cross. This is not academic for me. This is my life. I led then, and I will lead now. Ask anyone who's ever worked for me or with me. I know what I don't know. My success as a leader, and I very much look forward to discussing my organization's successes at Vets for Freedom and Concerned Veterans for America. I'm incredibly proud of the work that we've done. But my success as a leader has always been setting a clear vision, hiring people smarter and more capable than me, empowering them to succeed, holding everyone accountable, and driving toward clear metrics. Build the plan, work the plan, and then work harder than everyone else around you. I've sworn an oath to the Constitution before, and if confirmed, I will proudly do it again. This time, for the most important deployment of my life. I pledge to be a faithful partner to this committee, taking input and respecting oversight. We share the same goals: a ready, lethal military, the health and well-being of our troops, and a strong and secure America. Thank you for the time, and I look forward to your questions.
Somebody drop the mic for him. Take the little mic right here, take that little one, and then drop it off. Just drop it on the table. How could you argue with that? How can you argue with the premise? But yet, we all know that if you're a Democrat, bring up Gillibrand, whatever her name is. If you're a Democrat, you can't just love America. You can't just say, welcome, Pete. We know you have a history just like the rest of us. Some of us got a worse history than you. They ain't found out yet. But you sound like you know what you're doing. You sound like you love the country. Shout out to your service. You had your boots on the ground. You fought the good fight. Yeah, in the past, you probably drank a little too much and couldn't keep your thing in your pants. But listen, that was years ago. He seems like a changed man to me. Get a man a chance. Donald Trump won. We trust Donald Trump's decision-making, And Donald Trump wants this man to be in a position as a defense secretary. Come on, why the Democrats got something to say? Okay, here they go. Let's see if Gillibrand has anything reasonable to confront him with. Roll it.
In the DOD, everything you've said in these public statements is politics. I don't want women. I don't want moms. What's wrong with a mom, by the way? Once you have babies, you therefore are no longer able to be lethal. I mean, you're basically saying women, after they have children, can't ever serve in the military in a combat role. It's a silly thing to say. It's a silly thing to say, beneath the position that you are aspiring to. To denigrate LGBTQ service members is a mistake. If you are a sharpshooter, you're as lethal regardless of what your gender identity is, regardless of who you love. So please know this to be a true statement. So you say it was a political thing. You say it undermined us, social engineering. I don't know why someone having to publicly say or not publicly say who they love.
I appreciate your comments.
Hold on.
And I would point out.
Pete is going to respond, but a sharpshooter? You mean a sniper? I don't know what a sharpshooter is. Just the fact that this woman is raising her voice at Pete Hegseth makes me upset just a little bit. So she already started off on the wrong page. But ma'am, you have not said anything about military readiness and effectiveness. You're talking politics. You said your complaint of political, not effectiveness, and can the man do his job? Wrote a clip. Pete, come on, Pete.
I have never disparaged women serving in the military. I respect every single female service member that has put on the uniform, past and present. My critiques, Senator, recently and in the past, and from personal experience, have been instances where I've seen standards lowered, and you mentioned 11 Alpha, 11 Bravo, MOS, places in units, and the book that has been referenced multiple times here, The War on Warriors. I spent months talking to active duty service members, men and women, low ranks, high ranks, combat arms and not combat arms. And what each and every one of them told me, and which personal instances have shown me, is that in ways direct, indirect, overt, and subtle, standards have been changed inside infantry training units, ranger school, infantry battalions, to ensure that
Give me one example. Please give me an example. I get you're making these generalized statements.
Commanders meet quotas to have a certain number of female infantry officers or infantry enlisted, and that disparages those women who are incredibly capable of meeting that
for the
standard.
infantry. Commanders do not have to have a quota for women in the infantry. That does not exist. It does not exist. And your statements are creating the impression that these exist, because they do not. There are not quotas. We want the most lethal force. But I'm telling you, having been here for 15 years, listening to testimony about men and women in combat and the type of operations that were successful in Afghanistan and in Iraq, women were essential for many of those units. When Ranger units went in to find where the terrorists hiding in Afghanistan or in Iraq, if they had a woman in the unit, they could go in, talk to the women in a village, say, where are the terrorists hiding? Where are the weapons hiding? And get crucial information to make sure that we can win that battle. So you cannot denigrate women in general, and your statements do that. We don't want women in the military, especially in combat. What a terrible statement. So please, do not deny that you've made those statements. You have. We take the responsibility of standards very seriously, and we will work with you. I'm equally distressed you would not meet with me before this hearing. We could have covered all of this before you came here, so I could get to the 15 other questions that I want to get to. So women you have denigrated. You have also denigrated members of the
What an idiot. First of all, denigration and an observation are two different things. Denigrating is without merit, saying that women shouldn't be in the military whatsoever. All Pete Hegseth said was that women, if you're dumbing down the standards to get women in, that is detrimental to the overall mission of the military's deployment, right? Same with women. If women are meet standard with men, or whatever standard that we have, and women are meeting or going above that standard, and then you got women that's below that standard, what does that do to the women that have worked hard, that have put in the work, that are qualified at this level and higher? It's okay that you let women below that. Here's the thing that I think people don't understand about military. They do this in the police department as well. A man has a standard here. Women have a standard here. Women can be below a male standard, but the male can't be below a male standard, which means that there are opportunities for weaker men that could be cops, but they ain't going to be a cop if they this weak. Women should be at the level of men, but they give them a lower standard. So they don't have to be to the average man on the police department. Women don't have to be physically capable. It's a physicality, demeanor, all this stuff is important. I was a cop, and we're going to go to the next one. Pull up the next one. I was a cop, and I can say that men and many women alike were frustrated with these DEI hires. They would just say, we need X amount of women. But instead of going out and finding qualified women, they would lower the standards so we could just get some women on the department. If you look at a lot of the controversial stuff, a lot of it happened with women. When I would go to a call and it's going to get jiggy, I'm telling you, man, I don't think there was a woman, maybe one or two women on the department that I work with that I'm like, all right, I'll be good with her. She'll at least pull a gun out and shoot if we start losing. And that's invaluable to have, the camaraderie and everything like that. So should no woman serve? I don't think that's what Pete is saying. I don't believe that. But you need to have a standard where everybody has to reach. And there are capable women that can reach that standard. You don't have to dumb it down for them. Just like the Negro. You ain't got to dumb down test scores to get black people in. How about you just find the most qualified black people that know how to, that's educated, have a good IQ, and can get the stuff done instead of just throwing people in there because you need to meet a quota. Roll the clip.
Mr. Hegseth, do you know what percentage of our military is comprised of women?
I believe it's 18 to 20%, Senator.
It's almost 18%, and in fact, DOD's 2023 demographic report indicated that there are more women serving now, and there are fewer separations. So they make up a critical part of our military, wouldn't you agree?
Yes, ma'am. Women in our military, as I have said publicly, have and continue to make amazing contributions across all aspects of our battlefield.
Well, you also write in your book, The War on Warriors, with the chapter, The Deadly Obsession with Women Warriors, that, quote, not only are women comparatively less effective than men in combat roles, but they are more likely to be objectified by the enemy and their own nation in the moral realms of war. Mr. Hegseth, should we take it to believe that you believe that the two women on this committee who have served honorably and with distinction made our military less effective and less capable?
I'm incredibly grateful for the two women who've served our military in uniform and including in the Central Intelligence Agency, contributions on the battlefield, indispensable contributions. Senator, I would like to clarify, when I'm talking about that issue, it's not about the capabilities of men and women, it's about standards. And this committee has talked a lot about standards. Standards that we, unfortunately, over time, have seen eroded in certain duty positions, certain schools, certain places, which affects readiness, which is what I care about the most, readiness on the battlefield.
I appreciate that.
And so my comments point time and time again to standards.
Your statements publicly have not been to that effect. After your nomination, you did state to a group of reporters that you, quote, support all women serving in our military today who do a fantastic.
Okay. These clips are terrible. But now I'm just going to add to that. I don't know why we got to be PC. On average, men in combat are better than women in combat. You want to bet me? Bring your best woman up here, and I'll whoop her right here in front of this thing. And I'm not even a combat soldier. Let's just be honest, okay? Are there women that are effective in the military? Yes. Are there women that have essential jobs in the military that do very well? Yes. On average, men and women are not equal in combat readiness. Are there some women that are more equipped in combat than men? Yes. On average, the average woman in the military cannot handle a walk across the street in the sandals of a man. Put the women up in a combat where they had the women doing the gauntlet thing. Women out there just getting raked over the coals. They're not even close. They can't even compete with the men. Why do you think that men, for instance, when I was a police officer and we had to do the red man fight, now they too weak to do red man fight. Now they're scared you're going to scratch your toenails. But, and I'm not saying the cops, I'm saying the departments. We used to have to do red man, 3-minute fight, all out, come back in the classroom, blood run out your nose, breathing hard, scratch all over your face. I remember I had to fight. I couldn't even open my mouth for like a day and a half because I just got beat up right here. Boom, 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 boom. I won that fight if it was a street fight. But when it went time to arrest him, he got me, okay? But why don't red man women fight men? We used to have this fight where it was combat. It was us against us on our knees with the boxing gloves, and we'd have to fight it out. Why wouldn't they let me fight a woman? We're equal, right? No, it's equal combat readiness. I would have broken the neck of any woman that was in the academy with me. I knocked out the 2 dudes that was with me, and I fought twice. Well, I didn't knock him out. I knocked one dude mouthpiece out, and he was bleeding and everything, and I beat the other kid twice. Or no, I beat him. I did twice. I fought the guy, and then I fight the young guy that was the other greatest athlete with me, and I whooped him. Now, a woman wouldn't have a chance. Why can't we just acknowledge that? Women, do you really want a war with men? I'm just asking. Do y'all really want to go down this path? I get so frustrated with women, and it almost creates misogyny. Because women, can you just do what you do good and let men do what they do good? And can we both respect one another? Why do women have to try to act as if they can do everything better than men? Just because you go to a university and get a piece of paper, because you're probably more organized than men are, generally speaking, don't mean that you're better than men. That's why a lot of y'all single and gonna die alone with a little dog on your arm, getting ran through, and then complaining later in life because you ain't got no kids in the family. Y'all got to stop acting like you somehow better than men. The competition ain't men. The competition is you versus you. There's dirtbag men out here. Fine. There's dirtbag women out here. We equal. You got to take your position and honor what you are capable of doing and let men do what men has done. Women would not be here. I would say you would just be used for sex if it had not been for men who honored women, love women enough to give them a voice. All you got to do is go to these other countries. Why can't these women overcome this Muslim rule where they got to wrap up in a blanket every day and they get their stuff cut off so they don't have any feelings, and men got 5, 6 wives? Why can't women overcome that? The only way a woman would get out of that situation is if men go over there and kill them and free the women. Do y'all understand that? You would be a sex slave today if it had not been for men who have the courage and the wherewithal to say women should not be treated like that, and we are willing to die to give freedom to women so they can be equal. Women, y'all can't do that yourself. I just want you to know that. You need men. Roll the clip.
Would you use our military to take over Greenland or an ally of Denmark?
Senator, one of the things that President Trump is so good at is never strategically tipping his hand. And so I would never in this public forum give one way or another direct what orders the president would give me in any context.
That sounds to me that you would contemplate carrying out such an order to basically invade Greenland and take over the power.
They just be saying, next clip, they be saying, she sound drunk. I'd say, madam, are you drunk? Okay, you got to be drunk either because you slurring or what you just said is completely insane. That's why I can't never be a politician. I'd be up there. I think I would say that. Like they would, like Candace did when she was in there. I think the pressure would it will make me so mad at how disingenuous and how they be acting like they somehow the boss of you, and like you work for me. You talk down to me? Are you silly? Woman, you cannot do nothing that I can do. You're not capable of nothing that I can do. If me and you square it off right here in this room, you wouldn't stand a chance. Can you put some respect on my name? What? Go ahead.
Panama Canal. By enforcing the Uniform Code of Military Justice, UCMJ, in addition to the sexual assault allegations, and by the way, the answer to my second question should have been yes. I have read multiple reports of your regularly being drunk at work. including by people who worked with you at Fox News. Do you know that being drunk at work is prohibited for service members under the UCMJ?
Senator, those
Yes
are
or no?
multiple false anonymous reports peddled by NBC
Do you
News
know
that run
that
directly
drinking on the job
contradictory
is
to the dozens of men and women at
not
Fox News
contemplated
Channel
and-
who
I'm not
I work
hearing-
with
I'm
who
not
came
hearing
on
the
the
answer
record
to my question.
and said they've
In your
never
opening
seen
statement,
that.
Mr. Hegseth, you
Now, was he drunk on the job? Maybe. I don't know if I believe what he said, but she don't know if he's telling the truth or not. So in a truthful and impartial way, if there's people that saying he wasn't drunk and there's people that saying he was drunk, it's fair to say you don't know if he was or not, so you can't make that derogatory claim. You know, I can't stand these people, man. Next clip.
I have failed in things in my life, and thankfully I'm redeemed by my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
In
There
finalizing
you go.
divorces from your first and second wives, were there non-disclosure agreements in connection with those divorces?
Senator, not that I'm aware of.
If there were, would you agree to release those first and second wives from any confidentiality agreement?
Senator, it's not something I'm aware of.
But if there were, you would agree to release them from a confidentiality agreement?
Senator, that's not my responsibility.
Did you ever engage in any acts of physical violence against any of your wives?
Senator, absolutely not.
But you would agree with me that if someone had committed physical violence against a spouse, that would be disqualifying to serve as Secretary of Defense, correct?
Senator, absolutely not have I ever done that.
You would agree that that would be a disqualifying offense, would you not?
Senator, you're talking about a hypothetical.
I don't think it's a hypothetical. Violence against spouses occurs every day. And if you as a leader
Every
are
day?
not capable of saying
Oh, man.
that physical violence against a spouse should be a disqualifying fact for being secretary of the most powerful nation in the world, you're demonstrating an astonishing lack of judgment. The incident in Monterey led to a criminal charge, a criminal investigation, a private settlement, and a cash payment to the woman who filed the complaint. And there was also a non-disclosure agreement, correct?
It was a confidential settlement agreement off of a nuisance lawsuit.
Right. During an interview, you claimed that you settled the matter because you were worried that if it became public, it might hurt your career. Do you maintain that you were blackmailed?
Senator, I maintain that false claims were made against me. And ultimately,
Your attorney
those
used
false
the
claims,
phrase, your-
I have the opportunity to attest my innocence in those false claims.
All right. Let me touch on this because nobody's exempt from the Officer Tatum show. Now, I didn't watch the full hearing in its totality. I don't like the way Pete Hegseth is answering some of these questions, right? I mean, I'm just being honest. I don't know if his lawyer is telling him to be this way or not. If somebody came to me, and I've never had any physical violence against any woman I've ever been with. It's just that simple, right? If somebody came to me and said, Brandon, have you ever been physically violent against any woman that you've been with? No. Never. If you were physically violent against a woman, would that be disqualifying? Yes. I don't think that a man who's whooping on women should be qualified for this position. And I'll say that because I know I ain't did it. Now, the next man, he get in trouble and they don't confirm him because of something I said, hey, that's on him. Yeah, of course. I will never be physically violent with my woman. Then they go, well, this woman, she lied. She a freak. Y'all know she a freak. You want me to tell you what else she did when we were in that room? Do you want me to tell you what else she did? I'll tell you how it went down. Y'all want to know how it went down? I knew she had a husband. She didn't care. She told me she didn't care. Came to the room. She got on the bed. She hiked it up. You want to know what else we did? You know how it started? You know, like, what are y'all talking about? You want to know what we did? You want to know what position we did? What are y'all talking about? That's the thing. That's the thing that I just don't. I'm not entertaining it. That's why I can't stand this stuff. These confirmation hearing is the same as impact statements from victims. These are two things I think are completely superfluous. I would never want to make an impact statement to a victim of somebody who committed a crime against my family member, where that person can sit there on the stand and I pour out my guts and say, I hate you. I hope you go to jail forever. And the person go, so? They got the power now. I don't like impact statements, and I don't like these. People just talking in circles. Pete, did you beat the girl up or not? You didn't? I never beat no girl up. I never beat a girl up. And if I did beat a girl up, you guys can disqualify me right now. If I put my hands on any woman I've been with, disqualify me right now. I'll get up and walk off the stage. But none of you guys will ever find evidence nowhere sustainable that I ever put my hands on a woman. The end. What's next? You talking about that little freak that lied on me? She lied. Do you ask her how was it that she was sleeping with a man that while she was married with her kids and her husband in a hotel room? How about you bring her here and let her tell you what she was doing? Okay. Roll the clip.
And then 10 weeks ago, you appeared on the Sean Ryan show and said, I'm straight up just saying we should not have women in combat roles. Now, I presume you recall making all these statements?
Senator, I'm not familiar with the article you're pointing to in 2013, but it underscores my argument
I've got the
completely because
video.
in that 2013 argument, I was talking about standards. Standards are what it's always been about,
Let's not
Senator.
have this same fight again.
Always been about Senate
I've quoted
standards.
you directly. We've got the video. We're happy to show it. But I want to be clear here. For 12 years, you were quite open about your views, and your views were consistently the same. Women are inferior soldiers, sailors, Marines, airmen, and guardians.
Yes.
And in case anyone missed the point, and these are your words from 10 weeks ago, women absolutely straight up should not be permitted to serve in combat. And I notice on each of these quotes, those are said without qualification. It's not by how much you can lift or how fast you can run. They don't belong in combat, period, or your words, straight up. And then on November 9th, 2024, just 32 days after your last public comment saying that women absolutely should not be in combat, you declared that, quote, some of our greatest warriors are women, and you support having them serve in combat. Now, that is a very, very big about face in a very, very short period of time.
Thanks. Hold on. Did she just say about face? Did she just try to make a military reference? Did she really, the woman who faked like she was an Indian, she literally said she was Native, and she got into a university under the guise of being a minority with a Native DNA background. And then she come out and she's 1/1000th of a Native. What? You are talking to him about anything? You did it while you were in Congress. You should get that money back. That's a fraud. You committed a fraud. And you want people to think you're Indian.
So help me understand, Mr. Hegseth, what extraordinary event happened in that 32-day period that made you change the core values you had expressed for the preceding 12 years?
Senator, again, I very much appreciate you bringing up my comments from 2013 because for me, this issue has always been about standards. And unfortunately, because of some of the people that have been in political power for the last 4 years, priorities other than standards, lethality, and meritocracy have driven decision-making.
I'm quoting you from the podcast. Women shouldn't be in combat at all. Where is the reference to standards? That they should be there if they can carry, if they can run? I don't see that at all, Mr. Hegseth. What I see is that there's a 32-day period in
All right,
which
I'm done with her. Listen, I can't listen to this hag anymore. The truth is, I get what Pete Hegseth is saying because I've heard him talk about it. He is talking about lethality and standards. Women shouldn't be in it unless you can meet these qualifications, but they have watered down the qualifications so much that I would argue that 90% of women in these combat positions shouldn't probably be there in the first place. Listen, maybe I don't know what I'm talking. This is my opinion, my experience. Women, there's a lot of good women out there. There's a lot of good, capable women. that can outdo men. It's just not a lot of them. I mean, when I say it's a lot of them, meaning that generally speaking, there's a lot of them, but when concentrated, there's not enough for them to have as much representation on some of these departments. Let's just be honest, man. Can we be honest? We want inclusivity. We want women to have a voice. We want women to be a part of the military in almost every aspect as men are. That's what we want. That's not the most effective way to do it, but that's the way we want to do it. Women's sport. We want women to have sports that are comparable to men's sports. Although they are trash in most of it, and most people are not going to watch it unless they showing booty and chest. But we do it anyway because we don't want a society where women feel like they don't have equality in this country. Like, can we just be honest? Let's just be honest. It's not about qualification and military readiness. If it was just about that, there would be a lot of men that wouldn't be in it, and there definitely probably would be hardly no women in it. But that's not what we care about as a country. Let's just say that and quit trying to pigeonhole or corner Pete Hegseth in a trying to acknowledge something because it's politically correct. And maybe I'm not a woman and so I feel differently, but man, women doing too much. Women are doing too much, man. Like you give women a little bit of autonomy. And I don't know how to remedy this, right? I don't think women should be locked in a cage. They can't do anything. They can't drive cars. But you give women autonomy and they begin to think they better than you, right? I hear this all the time with women saying, women are more educated. Women are so we don't need a man. Do you know how silly women are generally speaking when it comes to dating and relationships? Most women they going after the same guys. The good guys here, most women don't want him because they believe in hypergamy. They want a guy that's better than them. They want a man better than them. So if a woman is educated, there's only so many men up here in the realm of millionaires and doctorate degrees. And a woman that's got a bare education don't want a man with a bare education. A woman that's not educated, got a GED, don't want a man with a GED. She want a man here. And then the woman here want a man here. And then the woman here gonna die alone because it ain't nobody here. That's fantasy world. This is and you say we want to empower women to do. Women run education, and our kids are stupider than they ever been. Women literally run education. Women are literally leading education. They're the most teachers, everything. The women. Let's look at single parent homes, single mother homes, ruining the country. So is it fair to say that maybe y'all should slow down a little bit? Just like men. I mean, just like black people. Just slow down a little bit, bro. Go look at your community and see what's happening over there. Okay, you see that? Then stop talking about white people then. How about you focus on you? Women, y'all hate each other at work. The shows that you're prominent on is shows with drama. Real Housewives of Potomac. They're cussing and screaming at each other every day. They hate each other. That's women shows. What else are women doing that's most popular? OnlyFans. What else are y'all doing? Showing booty and chest in some other fashion. You on a commercial because you an anchor on the news because you fine. Not just because you can talk, because you fine. If you were ugly, you wouldn't be there. What else y'all doing? What sports do people like to watch women play? It ain't basketball. Why? Because they got full clothes on. Look at track and field. Booty cheeks bouncing. Let's go to another sport. What other sport y'all in? Golf. Can't watch a golf video without a dress hiking up. Thank God Trump, he got his daughter looking reasonable. Granddaughter. No, his daughter, Trump Jr. That's his daughter, right? Yeah, that's Trump Jr.'s daughter. Oh, yeah, Trump Jr.'s daughter. Yeah, Trump Jr.'s daughter. He got a modest and everything. Thank God. Because you go look at all these other influencers, they just, you're like, is this sex? Is this sexualized or are you just playing golf? And don't say it's because of men, because the equivalent would be a man in a freaking Speedo. Then basically men golf with a Speedo. With a crop top and a Speedo, men golfing like that. And when they swing, they thing do like this in their underwear. Just imagine if men did that and women would be like, oh, really? We can't go golfing without looking at somebody's genitalia. Just like men, you can't go golfing about your booty cheeks coming out and you do one thing and something going to pop out of there. Can't go to the gym. You can go to the gym, but you got to look away. I don't know how many times I'm working out and I'm like, I got to look away because she bent over right in front of me and I can see everything. If I look, I can see everything. I can see what all she got right there. I can see if she shaved or not right there. Let's be honest. Come on, keep it real. I can see if she shaved. That's how crazy women be dressing at the gym. And then some of them are modest. They dress nice and they're decent. Most men are just got regular clothes on, shirt, hoodies, working out. Women got to be. Anyway, I'm not trying to bash women. I love my wife. My wife is a good woman. But and there's a lot of good women out there. But I just get so frustrated with what has happened to women. Women couldn't vote and all this other stuff. And, I get it. Women should not be able to do nothing. But then what happens? Feminism. And now it's man bashing. Men, toxic masculinity. Y'all really gonna treat us like that after we didn't die for y'all? To have freedoms and now you're too good to stay at home, take care of the kid. You're too good for that. You want to compete. You don't compliment. You want to compete. So now we got to see who bigger than who. And then we let y'all in the workforce and now you complaining. Men get paid 7 cents. Women get paid 7 cents on the dollar. But then you want to go to work. You want to have kids. So you got to take maternity leave. Then you want maternity leave. I get it. Maybe you should have it. But then you ain't going to make as much money as a man that don't have maternity leave. You hire a man, he can work year round. You hire women and she have aspirations to have kids. In 5 years, she can have 5 kids. And you are a dirtbag as an employer if you don't give her adequate time off to take care of babies. You done got a woman there and she only here 3 months out of the year. And she want to get paid the same as Joe over there working overtime every week, 40, 60 hours. All right.
Big audience here. Many of them seem to be patriotic supporters of you, Mr. Hegseth. Some of them seem to be liberal critics of you. I would note that it's only the liberal critics that have disrupted this hearing. As was my custom during the Biden administration, I want to give you a chance to respond to what they said about you. I think the first one accused you of being a Christian Zionist. I'm not really sure why that is a bad thing. I'm a Christian. I'm a Zionist. Zionism is that the Jewish people deserve a homeland in the ancient Holy Land where they've lived since the dawn of history. Do you consider yourself a Christian Zionist?
Senator, I'm a Christian, and I robustly support the state of Israel and its existential defense, and the way America comes alongside them is a great ally.
Thank you. Because another protester, and I think this one was a member of Code Pink, which, by the way, is a Chinese Communist front group these days, said that you support Israel's war in Gaza. I support Israel's existential war in Gaza. I assume, like me and President Trump, you support that war as well, don't you?
Senator, I do. I support Israel destroying and killing every last member of Hamas.
And the big...
Sound good to me? Sound good to me? Is there some other favorite ones? I think we didn't beat the dead horse on this one. All right, it's enough. It's enough. Go watch the full thing if you want to see it. It's all a pony show, man. That's why I never really like covering them or watching them. It's all a pony show, man. The Democrats are going to disparage them. The Republicans are going to support them no matter what they do. Can we be honest here? Even though Pete Hegseth may have some questionable things that he's done, Republicans are not going to question him on that, and Democrats are going to question everything he did, even if it's good. That man sounded really good in his opening statement. I think we ought to give him a try. Donald Trump has appointed him. I think we should trust Donald Trump. The people voted for Donald Trump, so we trust his judgment. If the guy is not qualified and he doesn't do what he's supposed to do, that is an appointed position. He can also lose that position. We can put somebody else in there. At least give him a try. That's all I'm saying. Give him a try. All right, let's go to another subject. Jimmy Kimmel, who's a wussy with a P. And this guy cries every time he come on the show to talk about something. He like the manipulative, and manipulation goes both ways. He's like the manipulative ex, right? The one that when they lose in an argument, they start crying. Because they know that crying make you feel bad about the position that they're in, and they know that's what make you upset. So they cry when they lose an argument and when they wrong. The manipulative X. Because I ain't gonna say it's just women. Women do it, men do it too. You got them toxic. Them men toxic, boy. They crying and begging and they cheating and they crying and cheating at the same time. How you gonna cry and cheat on your girl at the same time? You should be crying when you were cheating, not crying when she about to leave you. But your boy Jimmy Kimmel, crying like a wussy. Just, I think it's strange that Republicans are, how much he worth, Nick? 50 million? This man, I'm just going to put it in context when you hear him talk so you can see how silly he is. He probably did help a little bit, but you worth 50 million. Your house didn't get burned down. And a lot of times these people, you know, I like to believe he made the decision to help, and it wasn't just his people saying, hey, man, you got to give, bro. Because a lot of these people that I hear about are dirtbags off camera. They get on camera and they do this, and then they go and treat their staff, yell at them, you, where my car? My coffee too hot. You, what do you mean my makeup artist is running 20 seconds late? That's how old girl was, the dyke. I mean, what's her name? Ellen DeGenerate. Degenerate. The bull dagger. We used to call them bull daggers when I was young. Somebody said Edward Scissors. Is that what you said, Nick? Edward Scissors hand, Edward Scissor pants. So that woman, who's insane, she gets on and to have this moral high ground, and it came out that she was such a horrible person to work with. And then when the allegation came out, that's why she ended up leaving the show. Because people, it was so embarrassing how terrible she was to people. Same thing with Lizzo. Big body Lizzo. Big, what do they call it? Get a side-by-side. Lizzo, side-by-side Lizzo. She why y'all mad at me? She the one to celebrate being fat. Well, Lizzo, come to find out, she had, I don't know if it was a civil lawsuit against her, where the fat girls on her staff, she was fat shaming. How you gonna be fat and you fat shaming people? And that she was discriminated against them and all kind of stuff. Allegedly. But still, ain't nobody here gonna complain that I didn't done nothing to nobody. Maybe somebody will if I fire them or something, they be mad at me. But ain't nobody gonna say that I'm, with no evidence, no video, that I'm mean and I'm not who I am in public. Nobody gonna ever have that to say. Maybe I slip and say some cuss words every now and again. I'm working on it. But that's the only thing that somebody can say with Brandon, because I don't never cuss publicly. If you accidentally catch me saying it, I try to stay away from using cuss words. But sometimes lately, because I need to work on my prayers, that I've been saying them a few times here and there. And somebody will say, Brandon did it. Oh, yeah, I did. I'm working on it. You ain't going to catch me lying, though. I ain't lying to y'all. Y'all ain't going to never hear me. But it has happened, okay? But anyway, Jimmy Kimmel, cry me a river. Roll it.
As you know, it has been a very scary, very stressful, very strange week here in L.A., where we work, where we live, where our kids go to school. We are back in our studio, which we had to evacuate on Wednesday. That's our building right there, the El Capitan. That is how close this fire was to our theater here. Many of us had to leave our homes in a hurry. Some of our coworkers lost their homes. That's Hollywood. It's been terrible. It's been terrible. Everyone who lives in the city knows someone, most of us, multiple people, families, friends, colleagues, neighbors whose houses burned down. And the truth is, we don't even know if it's over. We had 100-mile-per-hour winds fueling this nightmare. As of tonight, the winds are back. And I think I speak for all of us when I say it has been a sickening, shocking, awful experience, but has also been, in a lot of ways, a beautiful experience because once again, we see our fellow men and women coming together to support each other. People who lost their own homes were out volunteering in parking lots, helping others who lost theirs. And tonight, I don't want to get into all the vile and irresponsible and stupid things our alleged future president and his gaggle of scumbags chose to say during our darkest and most terrifying hour. The fact that they chose to attack our firefighters, who apparently aren't white enough to be out there risking their lives on our behalf, it's disgusting, but it's not surprising. Instead, I want to focus on thanking those men and women, because that's all we should be doing right now. And we should never stop.
They give me so much ammo. I got a stockpile. I can have a whole military with as much ammo they've given me. Listen, men do cry sometimes. I have cried, believe it or not, at some point in my life. Okay. You know, it's okay to feel compassion and emotion, right? Some of my friends have lost their houses. It's okay. But to weaponize empathy and a fake gurgly voice to make you sound like you care is insane to me. If I really felt like something happened somewhere and a lot of conservatives lost their houses and stuff like that, if I really felt like Joe Biden was a detriment to the unity that I see, I wouldn't even bring him up. Some people may not even heard what he said. I wouldn't bring him up. If I'm really that emotional about the experiences that my friends are having and the scary moments, it's too serious for me to bring in the negativity from a political candidate. But we know that Jimmy Kimmel isn't serious. He's doing the fake boo-boo cry because no tears came out. He didn't wipe his eyes one time. He ain't really crying. He fake crying. And then he did all of that lead up to bash Trump. That's all it was. You talk about unity and then you bash Trump and all of his cronies or whatever you said. You were like, bro, I thought you were talking about how beautiful unity was in California and all that. You talk about that. Then you jump over the pond and talk about Donald Trump, whom he don't even live in California. And what does his rhetoric mean if you haven't heard the rhetoric? Most of these people don't listen to Donald Trump, right? All you leftists don't listen to Donald Trump. And then on top of the crying and on top of the blaming, yo, sorry, but you the one voted for Gavin Newsom and the people that are in power that screwed y'all. I'm glad your houses are burning. I hope all of y'all lose your house. Not the people that are conservative. I feel bad. I hope the insurance kick in. You get you a brand new beautiful one. But for you leftist nut jobs, I hope your house burned to the ground. You voted for it. You did it. And you don't take any accountability for you vote for these nut jobs that won't clear the forest, that don't manage. Gavin Newsom go, I'm not getting a straight answer from my guys, and I'm getting a different answer here and a different answer there. And you shocked that people are like, what the is going on? But you can't say something went wrong. You say, Donald Trump is wrong and everything was good, but I have questions and the investigation need to be ensued. What you investigating if you know what was happening? If you know it was all clean, why are you investigating? Why? Your investigation is saving face. You know that you effed up and you want to do an investigation to take it off of you because I didn't know what was going on. We need to investigate. Technically, you should know what's going on. There should never be a fire. Fires are the biggest threat in California, probably outside of earthquakes. And you should be on top of this like white on rice, like stank on sugar honey iced tea. You should be on top of this. Nobody should know fire prevention better than Gavin Newsom. There's no state in the union that deal with fires like California. You should be a fire expert. But yet the mayor, whom you preside over, decided to cut the fire department by like $12 million. In a state where fire prevention is the biggest existential threat to Californians, you cut money to the fire department. And then y'all got these bulldaggers at the top of the list talking about LGBTQ. Nobody cared. The fire didn't drive over here and say, "Are we going to avoid all the gay people?" Oh, it's a woman in power, a woman with an education. Let's avoid her house. We just going to go to the conservatives. Shut up. I don't care what you're doing in the bedroom. Nobody cares that you laying on top of another man or a woman in the bedroom. No one cares. Are you going to stop the fire from burning down everybody's house? You can be green. You can be an alien that came down from outer space. Nobody cares. Are you going to make sure people's houses don't burn? Because right now, nobody cares that you're inclusive and delusive. Nobody cares. They don't care who the police chief is. You could be a man, a woman, a cow, a dog. My house is gone. And y'all don't have no explanations. All the governors saying, let's do an investigation. Karen Bass was in Uganda, Guyana or somewhere. She in a whole nother country while we burning. And y'all don't have no, how did it start? 13,000 fires started last year from homeless people. And y'all spend $30 billion on the homeless. You spent $30 billion on the homeless, and the homeless caused 13,000 fires last year in California. How many of those fires were catastrophic? How do we know a homeless person didn't start the fire this time? Can't stand these people, man. They so woke, they stupid. And everybody that voted for them and their failed policies, that's what you get. Everybody that didn't vote for them, I feel sorry for your loss, and we're going to help you build back, maybe in another state. But it's those of you who, that's like us saying, I don't know, something that a conservative do. Let's say the conservative, I don't know an example because conservatives don't do stuff like that. That's why I vote for him. Gavin Newsom up there. Y'all should have stopped listening to him. They talk about, let me say this again. They talk about Pete Hegseth and him, some little nasty woman who sleeping with Pete Hegseth while her husband's in the hotel room and his kids, claiming that she got assaulted. I don't believe she got assaulted according to the documents. The police don't believe she got assaulted because they never pressed charges against Pete Hegseth. So I'm well within my rights to believe that this is a fraudulent accusation against Pete Hegseth. Okay, beyond that. They bludgeoned him over that. Gavin Newsom cheated on his wife with his campaign manager's wife. In his campaign running for office, he's cheating with his campaign manager's wife. Then, do y'all remember in COVID where he got on the news and said, you better wear your mask indoor? He was saying stuff that was hurt. I remember it. People that my friends and people that I know in California was just devastated that he's like, you can't gather with this many people at your house. And he just like, in a very pompous way, like, how dare you be stupid enough to gather with people? Are you stupid? You got to have your mask on. You better be social distancing. You idiots. You better be social distancing. And then we catch him at the French Laundry. Nobody has a mask on. And it's like 12 people sitting at a table in a glass room. And then he lied and said, no, we were outdoors. They show the footage. He's in a glass room eating food with people and nobody got a mask on. This is your guy? Oh, The View. The View mad because Carrie Underwood is going to sing at the inauguration. Why can't they, listen, why can't Carrie Underwood sing for a president of the United States of America? Why can't she sing for him? Why? The left, the inclusion and delusion. Be happy for that woman. You got a woman that's got the spotlight at the inauguration. Carrie Underwood may sell some more records. But y'all can't be happy for a woman because the woman ain't on your side. Y'all only happy for the woman when the woman is a leftist and she want to abort her kids and all that stuff. Y'all can't be happy for a woman that say, look, I want to celebrate and sing for a president of the United States of America, which is a great accomplishment no matter who's the president. You still get to hold that title no matter who's the president. So y'all know they're going to say something crazy, so I got to say something. Roll the clip.
Country superstar Carrie Underwood has spent most of her career avoiding political talk, but she's set to perform at the upcoming inauguration. She said in a statement that she's doing it because the country must come together in the spirit of unity and look to the future. And lots of her fans aren't thrilled about it, but lots of her fans are. So let's put this in perspective here. What do y'all think?
I personally hope we're moving beyond the era of politics where we want to cancel people's livelihoods because we don't like their politics. And whether it was the Dixie Chicks for criticizing George Bush, didn't agree with it then, and Carrie Underwood, if you have a problem, you register your complaint by not downloading her songs and not going to her shows.
Right.
But I also think from a business standpoint, it's not a bad decision for Carrie Underwood. 75 million people voted for Trump. Artists tend to skew left-leaning, so she's overnight going to become an icon of MAGA and the American right. She's probably going to make a lot of money off of it. So I get why she did it.
I see.
I mean, right? And it's country music. I think
I'll tell you right now, I wouldn't do it, even though I can't sing.
You would not sing?
No, I would not. I would not normalize him. And she says, I love our country. How do you love your country and support and normalize somebody who was a convicted felon who really wants to destroy the country, in my opinion?
Stop the clock. Hold on, time out. Y'all come in, let's meet. Come on in. Convicted felon? Oh, he's a convicted felon, huh? How much time did he do in jail? What fine did he pay? How much community service did they give him? He was convicted felon, and then what happened? Oh, nothing. Oh, so he's a convicted felon, never did an ounce of time in jail. Didn't even have to do community service. Nothing. He's a convicted felon. These people annoy me to no end. Convicted felon. You using that convicted felon thing. I hope that Donald Trump, when they dismiss this case and overturn the convictions, I want them to eat crow like never before. Sprinkle a little pixie dust on that crow while you eat it. I cannot stand these people. You still saying he's a threat to democracy? You still saying that it's so shameful when the majority of the people in America voted for him? You can't say it's just the Electoral College victory. You can't say it's just conservatives. The majority of the country, he won the popular vote and won every swing state in his third attempt as a 78-year-old man that had convicted felon, and they overwhelmingly voted for him. And Carrie Underwood is a problem. But you ain't the problem? Okay.
I don't understand how you say you love your country at the same time as you normalize this convicted felon, which I can say now every day.
A lot of my family voted for Trump. They love the country and vote for him. I think that people make these decisions for a lot of reasons.
Okay, fine. And I would not be the person to say don't do it, because I believe in free speech and everything about it.
No, you don't.
I personally would not do it. No one's asked me, but that's another story.
I would love for you to do a roast at the Trump inauguration.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no one else had any
So
thoughts?
there we are. No, we've had people like Reba McEntire come on and say that, she doesn't want to talk about politics. She just wants to sing, she wants to perform, she wants to make people feel good. And I respect that. And then we've had people like Dolly Parton, and I think you asked her,
Are you a feminist?
Are you a feminist? And she said,
I don't think so.
I don't think so. But then you pushed her, and she said, yeah, I guess I am.
Well, I said to her, do you believe that women should make the same amount of money as men? Well, I guess I am a feminist.
Yeah, and she said, I guess I am a feminist. So I think people feel pretty strongly about it. I think art is art, and you have a right to perform where you want to perform. I agree with you, Joy. I can't sing a lick, but I certainly, and I have not been asked, but if I were asked, it would be a hard no.
Well, they wouldn't ask me, so I have no nothing to say.
Right, yeah. They're not asking any of us.
No, you do what you do. Listen, it's like, people do what they do for whatever reasons. It's like Joe and Mika.
Yeah.
They did what they did. They felt that's what they needed to do, and I got to stand behind them.
Yeah.
And I stand behind her no, not or not, because if I believe I have the right to make up my mind to go perform someplace, I believe they have the same right.
Of course.
And so
That's
I have
true.
to, I have to support. Doesn't mean I'm particularly interested in what I won't be watching, but that's me.
Yeah, I've scheduled a spa day.
I'm not even going to tell you what I'm doing. Don't worry. I'm not telling. No, I'm not talking. I'm not telling. No, because it was always in the books.
Hold on, Nick. She means she's scheduling a court date. Last time I checked, her husband about to be a convicted felon. So Sonny Holster, you better watch what you say about somebody else. Because your husband going to be down there with Big Tony on the back of him without his consent. So you better watch what you say about Donald Trump. He ain't got no time in jail. Your husband, these people, the audacity. Her husband is being accused of something that's far more egregious than what they claim Donald Trump did. Donald Trump never took an action. The people running his money move money to pay a woman who agreed to not talk about it and signed the NDA and took $300,000 or whatever, $100,000, whatever she took. That's what Trump did. And it's a misdemeanor to do that. But they added in, to make it a felony, they tried to add in an underlying charge, an underlying crime he's trying to conceal. And they don't have the crime. They don't know what crime. What's the crime? They don't know. Nobody can tell you what's the underlying crime. And that's what Trump is a convicted felon over. Her husband doing insurance fraud, allegedly. He's in a RICO case, named in a RICO case, potentially being a part of insurance fraud, which could be in the tunes of hundreds of millions of dollars, if not billions of dollars. Trump gave $100,000 to $300,000 payment to a prostitute so she can shut up and not disparage him. That's it. That's all that happened. And I don't even know if he slept with the woman or not. I don't know. I mean, you got to think he was kind of older. She's still throwing it around like that. 80, 70-year-old man, 60-some-year-old man. You really doing like this shit? I don't know why women be acting like that's a flex. You get. I'm gonna say this and I'm moving on. I think this is it. It's not a flex for you to sleep with a married man and you do porn. It's not a flex for him to pay you to shut up and you somehow are liberated and you, like she went on The View and they celebrated her. Ma'am, you suck for a living. I don't know if you still making a living doing it or not, but you used to. You on camera with getting banged by dudes on camera. Is that really a flex? Can you really bring that woman on the show and say, you know what? Tell us your story. You're so brave. Ma'am, you are everything a woman shouldn't be. And then you slept with a married man and it took money to shut up about it. You knew his wife, you knew he had a wife, but you slept with him anyway. And you took money to be quiet. You even worse. Or the lady that somehow coming out against Pete Hegseth. Ma'am, look, let me tell you this. It will never happen to me because I love my wife with my whole life. If my wife and my kids were in a hotel room and I go and get a drunk girl and escort her to her room to make sure she's safe and she takes advantage of me, no one would ever hear about it. Because how do I justify that my wife is in the room in there and I'm somehow, nobody would believe a man if a man was in that situation. And I'm the handler of a good-looking woman. My kids at 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm going down to escort her to her room. I'm in her room now. We do something. I tell my wife, I don't know how many, 2-3 weeks later, I tell my wife, hey, I got something to tell you. I slept with that girl at the thing. I'm not going to be, it's not going to look good on me either. Because ain't nobody going to, she forced you really? Oh, okay. Why were you in there in the first place? But you can ask that of a man. You can't ask that of a woman because you're a misogynist. That woman that had no business being a handler of a man. That man, what are you handling? You can handle it from a cell phone call. You don't need to go down in the lobby and stop him from being drunk. He's a man. You let your husband go tell him to do something. You because you want to sleep with him. Just be honest. Your husband ain't doing it like you want him to do it. You think Pete Hegseth got that? You know he got a reputation or something. Because he going around, he ain't been around. He got that reputation. She wanted to see what that Pete be like. And she went to his room. She slept on the couch and all this other stuff. She woke up in his room or something she did. Man, quit lying. Y'all can quit lying. Quit lying, man. It's crazy to me how the world is so fake. People, it's funny because people live their life a certain way. And then when it comes to like scenarios, they act like it's like a robot. No, man. Pete Hegseth is a good looking guy. Sometimes people don't, they husband ain't doing it right. And he drunk, he talking that yang. She like, all right, let's just do this real quick. My husband ain't got to know. She don't love her husband or her kids like that. Why y'all trying to act like she do? She don't love her kids. She don't love her husband like that. You crazy. She up in that man's room. She wanted to see what it's like. She probably had a good time. Then she felt bad. She probably thought she was pregnant. Put the super chats up there. She probably thought she was pregnant. Or she probably got burned or something. Before her husband get jiggy, she want to tell her husband, hey, I was sleeping with that guy, so just in case you get gonorrhea or something. She had to tell him. Then her husband made us think about it. You better go file rape. They say he raped you. And she's like, no, he didn't. It was consensual, baby. And that man like, you ain't going out like that. I'm going to divorce you if you don't say he did that to you because you ain't finna make me look bad. She didn't win and file these charges against that man, knowing that bull crap. Anyway, y'all ready? Super chats. Navy vet. In the 70s, we women were asked what our opinions of women on the front lines and on board subs and ships was. My answer today is the same as the same then. It should be the same now as the same then. Women have no place in these areas. That's from a veteran. Thank you for your service. My mother-in-law served in the military, and her best friend served in the military. And I almost died laughing at the stuff that they did way back then. My mother-in-law said that she couldn't stand getting her hands dirty. So when she would do the low crawling and handle the gun and stuff, she always would get hand sanitizer and wipe her hands off. They used to carry purses and stuff. I think her friend used to have a purse with her when she was doing all her drills and stuff so she could have her women stuff in it. Oh my God, that was so funny. And there's nothing wrong with that because women is women, man. Women should be doing all that stuff anyway, man. She said she used to have the hand sanitizer on her hands, man. There ain't no combat zone in her future. Oh man, that was funny. I thought that was so funny. And she laughed about it. You know, ain't no real woman that's real with herself is like, yeah, back then we were just as good as the men. I mean, women probably wanted nothing to do with the military. Jason, thank you for your service. Thank you. Appreciate it. Former, it says answer with my answer, not yours. You get what that means? Maybe he was saying, maybe he got another super chat somewhere. Or maybe he was saying with the congressional hearing. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Jackie, thank you so much for the super chat. Female veteran here, Hegseth is right. I was a 68W. I don't know what that means. You know what that means, Nick? Can you type in 68W, somebody? All right. Jay Sanchez, thanks so much for the super chat. I'm active duty female Marine officer. I was enlisted first. It's hard.
Combat medic specialist.
Oh, combat medic specialist. Oh, okay. Thank you for your service. It's hard on a woman on active duty. I have had children on active duty. He'll take a beating, carrying weight. Combat training is hard on our bodies than men. 100%. Why we do women like this? It's funny to me. It's like women want to get done in by men. It's like the whole Stockholm syndrome. I wanna let you abuse me so I can feel better about being abused, so I can feel like I'm somebody. Women should not be putting their bodies. Men's bodies are different. We made for this stuff. We made for this. That's why God made us like this. That's why God didn't make men and women physically the same. Because men's physically supposed to be doing other stuff. We both ain't supposed to be laying up. Women have children. Women should be able to have a child and chill for a minute. Why do women want to force themselves to go back to work? I want to work too. No. Ain't no man gonna tell me I can't work. And then you have a baby and you crying because you don't get maternity leave. Men don't get paternity leave, maternity leave, paternity leave, whatever you call it. Men don't get it and they can't complain about it. Bro, you ain't at home with your kids. Your wife is. You come back to work. People got to get this done up in here. Like, why do women want to do themselves like this? I'm just going to put my body through it because I'm equal to man. Then they all broke up and hurt. And I don't think women, especially women that have kids, like, you think a woman can have kids and be deployed to another country somewhere? Like that don't happen, does it? I have never heard of a woman. You have never seen a video, have you? I haven't. I've never in my life seen a video where a woman come back from deployment and the family is like doing stuff and the woman walks in the room. A woman that has kids, not the woman that's single. Yeah, she can go to deployment and come back and hug her mama and daddy and them. But a woman that got kids, you telling me a woman can have kids and then get deployed for 18 months somewhere without her children? I don't know of such a woman. But men and women are the same. Nah, women need to, man, we need to be supporting women. We need to take care of women. I don't get this world that we live in. We should be opening the door for women. We pull the seat out for a woman. Men should be defending women. We should be protecting women.
And they don't even want that now.
When they have babies, women should be able to sit at home and they baby sucking on that thing and getting fed and laying up all day. They should be protected. Women should be able to, there should be special benefits for women to be able to stay at home with their kids. What are we doing? Men probably want to do that. Men would probably love for women to do that. But women, y'all don't want to do it. Y'all want to work. PT got post-traumatic, what they call it? Women, I forget what it's called when women have postpartum depression. Killing themselves, throwing their kids out, choking their kids in the middle of the night. Postpartum depression. When you ain't supposed to even go, people should be treating you right. Like you should go to the hospital. I don't think you go to the hospital. If you naturally have your kids, if you can't go to the hospital. But whatever you should do, you should be able to lay up there, worry about no job, ain't got to worry about no money. All you got to do is worry about connecting with your baby, feeding your baby. There should be people there ready to help you help the baby latch. Some of y'all already know how to do the breastfeed thing. Sometimes you need a little help. Help the baby latch on there. Let them skin to skin, lay up all day long. That baby should be on your hip. You should have to do nothing. Y'all shouldn't have to do nothing. You should have food ready for, all that stuff should be ready for women during a whole period of time where you can spend years with your kids. And then when they get older, you can go work in the military and do whatever you want to do. But you should be able to spend all that time with your babies. That's why God made y'all. God did not make women to pop a baby out and go back to work. That's not the way it worked. I guarantee you, as sure as I'm sitting here, children who had their mom, that was a good mom, not an abusive, drunk, alcoholic mom, but a kid that had their mom when they were little and they were nurturing the whole time when they were little, I think those kids fare a little better or much better in some cases. Not every case. Some kids persevere. But in most cases, kids fare a little better than mama that never was there. You need that. It's a subconscious thing. Kids need nurturing from their mothers. Mama ain't never there. You can't develop like you're supposed to. Anyway, let's go. When you vote for the woke, you end up broke. I feel bad for LA, but the voters in LA chose them. Jimmy Kimmel, when anyone wants your political opinion, we'll give it to you. 100%. That dude's so weird, fake crying and stuff. Davey, thanks so much for the super chat. Trump come and liberate us in the UK. I agree with you, brother. Let's see. Zach says, why doesn't your hat have the Tatum logo? Does Zach still talking about merch? Why don't your hat have the Tatum logo? You know, I want to answer this. I will answer this question, but I want to know, why would you ask a question like that? Are you insinuating that we don't produce our hats in-house? Is that what you're saying? You know, let me just explain it, because I don't like when people dodge the question because somebody asks a silly question. Some of my hats used to have it. It takes too much time in production to try to embroider a T on the back of a mesh hat like this. This is mesh. This is not a fabric. This is mesh, right? This is a trucker hat. To embroider a T on the back of this hat would take so much longer that when people order a hat, and it's double and triple the time. Just so you guys know, the equipment that we have right now, and of course we can expand, we can only do 3 hats at a time. Because when we used to do it, we used to outsource to a company that was much bigger than us. Now that we do it in-house, our embroidery machine, we got 3 heads on it. I think it takes like 20 minutes to do an embroidery design. So we can only do 3 hats every 20 minutes. If y'all order 1,000 hats, we couldn't spend that much time embroidering a hat. And then you won't get your stuff for 5 weeks, a week or something, and you be mad at me. So what we do is we say, look, let's cut out the minutia. This design is ours. We have this design. Many of our designs we copyright, or we, I forget what you call it, not copyright, patent. So we have our design. We don't have to worry about that. It's a production thing. And Zach, I want to like you, man, but the stuff that you're saying is just weird to me. We don't do that. It's reasons why. Even our shirts, we were doing the patch on the side, on the sleeve. It took twice as long because we had to do the front thing, and then we had to switch the pallets out to do a sleeve, and then we have to do the neck tags, and we couldn't do as much product as fast as people were wanting to buy it. So we said, look, we got to cut some of this process down. We put the logo in the design now, so we don't have to put the logo on a sleeve. We put the logo in the design. Therefore, it's labeled that way. And we do the neck thing, which takes a while because we got to have people stamping. We got, I don't know how many people work downstairs right now. We got at least 8 or 9 people down there right now. And they got full-time stamping the neck and the shirt, embroidering. Now we are doing the mats, the door mats. It's a full operation. So anyway, speaking of the store, here we go. Let's bring up the store I was just referencing. We should actually show a little behind the scenes so people know what this is. This stuff is not easy. As people tell me, I should have never did it. Like, I could have outsourced this to another company like we used to do, where we do the designs, we outsource it to an apparel company, they print it, they send it to us, we sell it, and then if we run out, we have to ask them for more. It take them 2 weeks to get it to us. If they have any mistakes on it, we got to send it back. So me being an entrepreneur that I am, and believing in myself and believing in what I can build, I said, I'm going to build my own print shop. And now look at us, okay? All right, Seal 20, get 20% off. For all the members that are part of the Tatum Squad, you get a special discount. Make sure you check the community tab. It has a special 30% off discount. And I think I'm even going to give 40 to the people who are level 2. We have that discount ready? All right, let's just do that. Hit Benji up real quick. We'll make a code for the people that are at level 2 Tatum Squad. They'll have 40, 30, and we'll switch it every week so people don't just get in there and get the discount and leave. But anyway, so yeah, maybe we'll do something different for that. Maybe people will fill out a thing. We'll figure out a way to do it. But we're going to take care of you, just so you know. All right? So we got our merch here. The carpets are sold out. It's over 1,000 people that have requested this carpet. 1,000 people requested this doormat. I should show you how we make it. It's right now, it's taking us a while to make it because we do it all in-house. Somebody may say, you get the carpets from China. I don't know where they get the carpets from. We had to go to an actual store to get them. If we do buy the carpets, we do have to get it from China because there's nowhere in America that get these mats. So we would have to go to China or somewhere if we do mass amount of them. But right now we can get it locally. from a little place. We're going to get a couple at a time, and then we print them, and then we'll make it available. So when we have some of these available, we'll try to send them to you guys. Just know it don't take long. Once we do it, we can put it right there, and it goes. Now, if you bought a doormat with another product, it may take a little bit to get it. All right, this is some of our merch, some of our top items. Anybody that buy this hat or this shirt that we make right here in house, all of it will go to helping people in Los Angeles, whether it's firefighters or it's victims. And what we're going to do is we'll let you know how much money we raise based on how much profit we made from these shirts. And then we're going to tell you how much, and then we're going to tell you where we send it to. So we got to calculate how much people have purchased of this product. We'll get an actual number, and then we'll give to a certain either charity or GoFundMe of people that we know and we trust. So go on here and you can get that. I think that's about it. Candace Owens has a lot of cool merch too. Her merch is pretty cool, man. We also take care of her merch as well. So we manage Candace's merch. Her stuff is cool, man. Y'all better go get some of this Candace merch. This is fire, man. I ain't even seen these. So Candace merch, go get some Candace Owens merch. She got a book is there. She got a tour shirt. What else she got? She got this new tumbler. This is a pre-order. So we haven't gotten these in yet. So this is a pre-order. She got these other shirts. So go Candace. Oh, these are sold out. So go get some merch from Candace Owens. And then also, if you're not a part of the Tatum Squad and all this other stuff, and you're a military veteran, whether you're active duty veteran or retired, first responder, police, fire, EMS, federal or local law enforcement, student at the university. If you're a teacher, pre-K, K through 12, or professor, you get a discount. If you're a doctor, nurse, or staff at a hospital, you get a discount. If you're 60 and older, you get a discount. And commercial drivers, if you are a CDL license holder, we give you a discount on our store. And then also government assistance. If you are on disability, if you're a lower income, if you're unemployed, we don't want nobody to not have an opportunity to get Tatum merch. So if you're unemployed, low income, you obviously have to verify that through the system, and we'll have a discount for you so you can get some Tatum merch. All right. All righty. So love you guys. Appreciate you. Thank you for watching. We'll see y'all tomorrow. I'm out.
Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave. I'm a proud American from my birth to the grave. 47